Almost 200 years ago, local residents of this area would erect fake lighthouses to cause vessels to run aground while trying to navigate through the old cut. They were known as blackbirders, and they would loot the ship of its cargo and store it in hiding spots on the Long Point, somewhere around here. And you know what? Some of it might still be here. You just have to look. How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Long Point Provincial Park. So anyways, I do apologize for not being at Darlington this weekend like I promised. But you know, the more I thought about it, the more I didn't want to go. So I'm not saying Darlington's a bad park. We will be going there in the future, but my wife, who is an expert site finder, happened to find this site at Long Point. And of course, it was through a cancellation. Everything's booked this summer. And we did find a last minute cancellation, and we did manage to sneak in here. So we are here for 2 nights in the 4th oldest campground in Ontario. And that is going to be in the old Cottonwood Campground. And we are hopefully going to find some birds, because this is the largest natural wildlife refuge in Ontario. And it is a Twitcher's paradise. We also have some amazing plant-based cooking coming your way. And also stick around, because we're going to take a page out of Pamela Anderson's new cookbook. Long Point Provincial Park is located roughly 3.5 hours southwest of Toronto, close to Port Rowan, and is a much easier drive for us, not having to navigate through the mayhem of Toronto. While on our way down, I wanted to stop by a small town I once heard about in a song by a well-known Canadian folk musician known as Stompin' Tom Connors.
Hey Steve, have you ever been to Tillsonburg?
Tillsonburg?
My back still aches when I hear that word.
So after our semi-long road trip, we got a little hungry and decided to stop at Tillsonburg. And they have a nice little park here called Coronation Park. And if you are ever traveling, small towns always have parks, and they're a great place to grab a sandwich and go to the bathroom, because they always have porta potties. So stop by a park and check it out. So we're gonna have our sandwich now, and then we're off to Long Point. So we happen to be staying in the Cottonwood Campground, which is the old part of the park, established in 1921. And lucky us, we found a site right next to the beach. The Cottonwood Campground is completely separate from the rest of the park, the main office, and the store. You do have access to both parks, but no one seemed to check. The park in total has 256 campsites, with 78 of those being electrical, which are located in the new park and mainly in the Firefly Campground, with some in Monarch's Nest and Turtle Dunes Campground. All of the old Cottonwood Campground is non-electrical. The Firefly and Monarch's Nest campgrounds share a comfort station that includes laundry facilities, and there are 2 sets of vault toilets available at the Monarch's Nest campground. Turtle Dunes has 1 comfort station and a set of vault toilets as well. The Cottonwood Campground, where we stayed, has 2 sets of vault toilets and a centrally located comfort station. Garbage and recycling can also be found in the new and old parks, and trailer sanitation is only available in the new park. Long Point also has a day-use beach area with plenty of parking, playground equipment, and a separate comfort station located in the parking lot. There is also a boat launch area, which is quite popular, as fishing is one of the main activities the park has to offer, as well as bird watching, photography, which can be enjoyed in some of the areas provided by the Big Creek National Wildlife Area. The park is also famous for its coastal sandy beaches that offer an endless amount of entertainment for the beachgoer. The park is also very close to restaurants, retail outlets, and all things a beachfront strip might have for your summer fun. So don't worry about running out of any items. There are lots available close by. There are no canoe or kayak rentals at the park, but there are some rental outfitters outside the park if that is what you choose to do. The sites are sandier and dune-like as you get closer to the water, with a reasonable amount of privacy. As you move away from the water, the sites become more dense with brush and definitely less attractive. And if you are a hiker, the park, because of its location, lacks good hiking trails, although many birdwatching trails outside the park meander out to the wetlands and can be used to hike as well as birdwatch. Cycling is also limited to the park roads and the stripped-down Erie Boulevard, which may not be a bad idea when it becomes busy in the summer. And finally, ticks and midge bugs can also be problematic in this area. Do thorough tick checks, and don't mind the midge bugs. They are harmless and serve a useful function. And here are our pros and cons for the park, keeping in mind that this is only our opinion as experienced tent campers, and what we find suitable may not be for someone else. Long Point Provincial Park is a great place for kids and summer fun by the beach. Lake Erie has a pleasant temperature for swimming, even in the spring. The water can be quite warm. And yes, it's understandable why so many loyalists applied for land grants here some 250 years ago on these very shores. Upon entering Upper Canada and the Great Lakes Basin, which included the province of Ontario and Long Point, settlers discovered this Carolinian-type forest on a sand spit, which was vulnerable to wind and waves of the mighty Lake Erie. Yet it was quickly populated with small settlements that took advantage of the hunting, fishing, and proximity of the water for trade. By the mid-1800s, the small piece of land's resources and wildlife had been pretty much eradicated. A large storm washed out one of the marshes on the mainland, creating what they called the Old Cut. The channel was modified to accommodate vessels from having to sail around the peninsula, which was far more dangerous. Eventually, a group of wealthy sports hunters began buying large parcels of land and transformed the lawless area into a respectable hunting club that established rules of preservation and began clearing out poachers and trappers. Within a few years, the area had rebounded and was once again teeming with wildlife. In the early part of the 20th century, Environment Canada and the province of Ontario began to recognize the significance of the area as a migratory bird corridor and began to make moves to protect it. Today, much of the land past the park is under limited access, and a great portion is still owned by the Long Point Company. Bird Studies Canada is a non-governmental organization that engages in bird banding, and visitors are welcome to watch and learn how they have recorded more than 300 species of birds migrating through this peninsula. And here we are at the Cottonwood Campground. Please subscribe and help support the channel.
Yep, I remember this. 219.
But it's kind of like secluded,
It's flat.
Alright, so we did make it to the park, and there are midge bugs everywhere, so that's going to be very enjoyable. We hope the wind picks up a little bit and they go away. We've dealt with this before, and usually they're not as aggressive as this. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Special surprise, we do have a new tent to show you. It's a new Coleman cabin style tent. Our last one was kind of a hand-me-down, but we're getting tired of it. And we're gonna set that up and show you what it's all about and see if you like it or not. So hopefully that goes well. We'll do a little time-lapse setup because we don't want to hear us arguing while trying to figure out how to set the tent up, but I'm sure it's going to be an easy one. So stay tuned for that new Coleman tent, and then we're going to have some dinner, and it's going to be something special again. So stay tuned. All right, so I think we have it figured out now, and it was a little bit frustrating at first. It always is with a new tent, but we're good now. We think we got the poles figured out, and we just got to put the fly on, and
yeah, I'm just trying to get in because it's really hard.
we're ready to go. So it's a nice big tent. I don't think it'll be ideal for winter camping, but for the next 3 months, it'll be perfect. So we do have this new product. It's called I keep getting this wrong, Plantropy. And we did try the jackfruit kebabs last time. They were pretty good. And these are the jackfruit dumplings. All right, guys, these dumplings are just a late night snack, and we're going to top them off with some Brutham barbecue thick to stick. All right, Plantropy jackfruit dumplings. Let's see how these taste. On the fire too. They're supposed to be steamed, but I like to do everything on the fire. And unfortunately, they're a little bit cold, so cheers. Anyways, we're going to wolf these back and probably have some snacks, and that'll be it for the night. And we'll see you in the morning. We got another good surprise coming up. All right, guys, so we're going to get breakfast going pretty soon, and this is a new product we're going to try out. It's called Ulivit, and it's a shakshuka breakfast scramble. So check that out. They are from Victoria, BC, so it's a proud Canadian product. So if you ever want to pick some of this up and check it out, by all means. So we're going to cook this up. It's kind of a mixture. We got to soak it in some tomatoes and add some veggies to it. So we're going to cook this up and tell you what it tastes like. 60 grams of protein, and the ingredients, fairly simple. Pulse pea protein, spices, herbs, garlic, and sea salts. No chemicals. So we're going to try this out and go from there. But first off, we need to chop up some veggies. So let's do that. Oh, that's a nice avocado. All right, guys, let's try this out. Shakshuka crumble with Mears Glen diced tomatoes, fire roasted diced tomatoes, and a pretty good avocado. I was surprised that the avocado was so good. So let's try this out, see what it tastes like. Pretty tasty. So we'll definitely give this a go again, and if you like, try it out sometime. It's a pretty easy breakfast. So we're going to finish our breakfast and see what the park has to offer. So stay tuned, more to come. All right, guys, so we are back from our little tour of the park, and we're going to get prepared for lunch now. And it's going to be something a little bit gourmet and special. and it's going to be from this lady, Pamela Anderson. And I think you all know who that is. And if you don't, she was the star of Baywatch, so there you go. And just so you know, some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light.
Some people need to help somebody when the edge of surrender.
Anyway, so this is it. Taking a page out of Pamela Anderson's book. And probably got a little few bugs on there too, but that'll be okay. So it's a bit messy, that's why the parchment paper is kind of around it, and I'm kind of doubting if this is even going to stay together, but we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. So yeah, check it out. Looks pretty good. I would have done it a little bit differently with the toppings, but you know, it is what it is. So let's try this out. Okay guys, we had a pretty good day at the beach today. The water was quite warm and it was nice to get in there for a swim again. So it's time for dinner, and what we're gonna have is Ulivit plant-based crumbles. So looks pretty good. So it's kind of like what the breakfast thing was this morning, and we're gonna just cook it up with a frying pan, add some ingredients, and away we go with tacos. And I'm not talking about Trump, so just plain old tacos. All right, so one of my favorite dishes or snacks is tacos, and they're good either way. So let's give this a shot and see what this taco ground tastes like. What do you think?
This is good.
Yeah. I'd probably add some spices, but
I say bland.
yeah, a little bit bland. So I would add some more spices to that for sure, and move on from there. So all right, we're gonna finish these off and get a fire going, and you know the routine. Finish up Saturday night and see what happens tomorrow. So stay tuned, there is more, believe me. right, good morning everybody, and it is Sunday, so it is departure day, and we're just getting ready to pack things up. We did have some gourmet overnight oats, another special recipe by Pamela Anderson that we had this morning with the strawberries. It was actually pretty good. Wouldn't mind doing it again. So I wanted to show you this tent we got. I did promise you we were going to go through it and take a look. So this is a Coleman tent, and we did purchase it for about $430 after tax, so it is a little bit more expensive, but what we did want was the ability to be able to stand up and freely move around this tent. And if you can see, there is quite a bit of room to maneuver around in here freely. It's very easy to change, very easy to you can even sit back and relax here during a rainstorm and have plenty of space. So yeah, I think the trade-off for the extended setup is pretty good, but this tent is definitely spacious for 2 people, and even for 4. It's meant for 6, but even for 4 it would be pretty good still. And they call it a cabin style tent, so it's a little bit different, but we were willing to try it out. And as you can see, we have these handy little clip-ons here, so you can zip up your side walls nicely. And when it does get hot during the day, you can let these down and you can get the breeze coming through the tent, which is quite nice. So yeah, you can stay warm at night and cool during the day if you got a breeze. We also have some cool little ventilation down here at the bottom, so it just helps the condensation. We'll see how that works with the rainstorm. And we also have a nice little front foyer screened in area, so if the bugs get really bad, you could probably sit out here and still kind of enjoy the evening, especially if you get a fire kind of going in front of you. So I kind of like these areas in tents. They're very beneficial for a little private room or a little sitting room or any space that you can put your shoes and stuff outside before you go in the tent, especially during fall and winter camping. It's quite beneficial, or if it really rains a lot. So yeah, really like these rooms here. And I'm not sure why this doesn't meet down to the zipper, but it probably has something to do with the tensions of the strings on the side of the tent. So we will figure that out for next time. So that's about it for the Coleman tent, and that's about it for our camping trip. So we're going to be out of here in an hour or so, and get ready for Silent Lake, which is going to be a 3-day trip into a walk-in site. So definitely looking forward to that, and definitely looking forward to some easier food to make. It was a little bit challenging this weekend, but we got through it. So anyways, we'll see you soon. Check it out, and don't forget to subscribe.